Hello world, I am live. Is there anybody out there? I will wait patiently. Da, 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 da. Someone's got to join me. I'm streaming on the main channel now instead of the second channel like I usually stream on, just to make it a bit different. But there are no comments yet, which is odd. Very odd indeed. Oh, Pixelator Thomas. Hey, Pixelator Thomas. It does work. You are first. This is not my usual time zone. Oh, everyone's in now. Ah, everyone's in. Look at this. Scott, Justin, Pedro, John, CN, YouTube, Insta, Nicholas, Patriog, Mark, Stefan, Robert's Testing, Rich. Okay, it was just a lag. They're flooding in. Oh yeah, 86 viewers already. All the degenerates are here. Yes. Hello, fellow degenerates. Hello, Newingith. Butchering that one. Once saw you in the Star City Casino car park. Really? Just say hi, Scott? or you just saw me in the Star City Casino. Jeez. Don't know when the last time I went to the Star City Casino. Must have been a long time ago. You're number one in at least something. Yes, insert greeting here. George. Denver, Colorado, reporting in. A glitch. Nah, it's just lag. What? Any objections if I record the screen of my phone on a VHS cassette for off-cloud viewing sharing? No problems. Record away to your VHS cassette. More power to you. Oh, about 10 years ago, you gave way to me. There you go. What am I marching down the street? Get out of the way. Don't you know who I am? What the hell was I doing? Don't know why I would have been at the Star City Casino. I've only been there a couple of times. That's odd. Do I have my boy with me? Was it at night? I don't remember. Melbourne, represent. The hellhole that is Melbourne. Greetings. I've still got a VHS player down in the dungeon. Hey, Argentina. Oh, you were forced to watch Snow White. Oh, my condolences. You need a palate cleanser. Did your girlfriend drag you along? Or your kid drag you along? Oh, in my car coming out of the spot. Okay, right. No worries, Elmo. Thank you. New Zealand. Yes, I still have my Ionic. It's got about 78,000 kilometers on it, I think. Yes, it is red. All right, well, let's start. There's enough people here. Yeah, got 119 peeps. So thanks for joining me. Hopefully this stream will work. I am streaming on the main channel. I thought, why not? This is the new Brymen, soon to be EEVblog. Well, you can see it's the EEVblog. But they haven't done the silkscreen. This is a... it's not a prototype, it's like a pre-release unit, sort of like pilot production unit, so they haven't got the blue silkscreen on there yet. Obviously they haven't got the blue overmolded thing, but this is the new. And check out the EEVblog forum, all the details are, well, there's details, there's a thread on it anyway. It's the BM787 Bluetooth BT, and this is what Brymen promised me 5 years ago. I actually had to check how long have I been selling the BM786. It was 2020 apparently, and it's 2025 now. So yeah, 5 years I've been selling that It just seems like a new model yesterday. You know, it just seems like yesterday, like a year or two ago. It's 5 years ago, I think now, or around about that figure. And they originally promised that the BM780 series, so mine's the 786, that's my exclusive model, but they're all the same with different like features and stuff. The 780 series was supposed to come with a Bluetooth option. You were supposed to be able to buy the Bluetooth option. And so I was going to sell the Bluetooth option once it became available. It was supposed to be, I can't really recall exact details, but it was supposed to be at the same way. Sorry, I was going to overlay the chat, but I can't because I'm not using XSplit or OBS here, and the stupid StreamYard doesn't let me overlay the chat. Anyway, so you have to read in the comments. On the side, if you're on YouTube, sorry if you're on X, you can't see it at all. Yeah, I was going to sell the Bluetooth model as an optional extra kind of thing. And they originally, I think it was originally supposed to be released at the same time as the 780 series, the Bluetooth, and then it slipped a bit, and they said, oh, look, we'll be ready in 3 months, then we'll be ready in 6 months, and then eventually there was just no more mention of it, and boom, here it is, finally. So this is identical, I believe, haven't taken it apart yet, it is identical to the 780 series, so the same as the BM786, except it's got BT on the end. And they had to name it 787 because I told them to add a low impedance function. So, which of course was sorely missing on the 786. So I got them to add that, and they said, oh, we can't give it the same number then, it's got to be the 787 instead of 786BT. But anyway, there you go. And you can see if this is actually a 789 or a 788 or whatever. Joe Smith has just got his hands on a couple of days. Mine was a bit late on the FedEx truck. They've got just some tape over the silk screen here. So yeah, and they've got tape over here. And because this was the top of the range model will have dual temperature, hence why they've got the labels over here. There's supposed to be another temperature input here as well as here. And so this was only got the single one. And there's no DBM mode, and there's no 4 to 20 milliamp current either. I can't remember what that one was. But yeah, so, but they're not like 4 to 20 milliamps. Who the hell uses that? DBM, who the hell uses that these days? Some people might, but you know, it's not a huge deal. But there you go, D for Bluetooth data. So let's switch this bad boy on. For you film aficionados, here we go. Sorry if my voice is bad. I'm recovering, so look at that. Beautiful, like I bought one. And let's switch it on, shall we? There you go, beautiful. What is the backlight? A lot of people asking what the backlight's going to be. It is white. Trust me, that's white. That looks yellow, but yep, it's white. It is not orange like the 2257. So, yep, it is white. Sorry for those who wanted the orange one. Maybe I could get it with orange. I could tell them to ship an orange thing. Anyway, it should be exactly the same hardware as the 780 series. And I'll show you why. Because, look, here's the PCB from the original 780 series, right? Nice big display. Yes, it is a nice big display. It is an excellent big display. So yeah, here's the 786 side by side. Oh, that's significant. The LCD is different, isn't it? Although this could be like a really older one. Yeah, they've tweaked that. I don't know how old this one is. 2021. So yeah, this is a 4-year-old one. I think yeah, they might have tweaked the LCD there. They tweaked the manufacturing of that bad boy. So I've got another one here. Yeah, that one's, yeah, the LCD's changed, hasn't it? Anyway, it is exactly the same LCD, apart from it actually looks a bit different, but as far as segments go, they're both exactly the same. So I'll switch them on, side by side, and whatever, just hold down something, and you can see, enable, disable, beep, or whatever. But they're both exactly the same, and you'll notice that it has the data feature over here. The original 786 has that data feature. Okay, so there. The original 786 has the data feature. It always had it in there. Now, spot the difference in the screen. You won't be able to. I believe it's exactly the same. That's because it is exactly the same LCD, except they might have tweaked the manufacturing process. It's exactly the same. It's got the dual temperature. It's got the data thing. It's just that they never released the Bluetooth option. I guess they had too much trouble in development. So it's taken this long. But here is the board out of the original 786. Right? Check it out. Right, so this is the original 786, and you'll notice Bluetooth down there. There's a spot for Bluetooth. So that's just a production marker. It doesn't physically do anything. It's just so that they can identify the boards. But yeah, so this is the 33rd week 2020. So this one's a very old board. And you can see back then, even back then, it had the Bluetooth option. And if you go up here, and these are all the different models that they have potentially available. They didn't actually release all these models. And if you go up here, where is it? Over here. Ta-da! That is a Bluetooth header. It's a Bluetooth header. I have actually probed this, and there's nothing on there. So the 786 firmware does not switch on that at all. And some people asked, does the new Bluetooth model actually physically switch power to the actual module? Oh, is that going through that? That's not populated, right? So maybe that's a resistor that goes, yeah, okay. There's a 0 ohm jumper. Oh, that's interesting. There's a 0 ohm jumper link there. You can see the trace going under there and go into... Anyway, it doesn't go over to there. But anyway, there does not seem to be an external transistor to switch that off or on. But of course, you could just... It's so low power, you can just power it with like a digital output of the processor if you wanted to. What's that? Don't know what that is. Oh, no. Is that a MOSFET? Because they've tied 3 pins together. Can anyone identify that? APJZ. I won't go do the search now myself, but it looks like it has nothing to do with that Oh, no. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to any of those pins. So it has nothing to do with that. So, yeah, don't know what that is. Anyway, I'm not going to reverse engineer it, but you can see that the original 786, 780 series had the Bluetooth functionality in mind. This here is the true RMS version, which is not fitted. I think they just bypass it with that. I was wondering, like in theory, you should just be able to add the true RMS circuitry yourself. You know, that's like an analog device's true RMS converter. You should just be able to add it and recalibrate it. In theory, that's the plan. I don't know if you can firmware modify it, if you'd have to firmware change that or not. But anyway, so basically, this new one it should be exactly the same PCB. I'd expect 0 changes unless they've made minor tweaks due to time. But yeah, it's basically 780 series with a Bluetooth. And they are going to, on release, in a couple of months hopefully, they are going to have, well, they've got an Android app. I've got an Android app on my phone at the moment for it. They're going to have an iOS app. They're going to have both of those at release. That's the plan. But I haven't seen the iOS app. I don't have a Apple shoe phone anyway. And hopefully a few months after that, a Windows app as well. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I've installed the app. Not that you have to install the app, but even just pairing, it shows up. I won't show you right now, but it shows up on the Android phone. I'm running Android 15. It shows up, but it doesn't pair. It says pairing failed from or not authorized by the 787BT. So this is rejecting the pairing for some reason. I've talked to Brymen about it. They haven't gotten back to me yet, so I don't know what's happening there, but it should have just worked, but it doesn't. Anyway, yeah, I'm liking the screen. It's nice and clear, isn't it? There's no flicker on my camera here either. It's really nice. Bobby Dazzler. So, yeah, there's no point testing this meter. It's going to be identical. In fact, the firmware, what version of firmware will it have? 1.2. So it's got version 12. It's got the latest version 12 firmware. Joe Smith's version, which is the 788, he's got version 14 firmware because they branched the firmware out for all the different models. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if you're a programmer, leave it down below. Why would you branch off? I would have one firmware for all of them and then just have a flag saying which actual model it is. But no, they branch them off separately. Well, I guess, no, I probably know. It just occurred to me. They have different customers like me, right? I've got the 786. That's exclusively my meter. And I can request firmware changes that other clients may not, right? Who sell the other models. Even though it's the exact same series, that's what you can do with two branched firmwares. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, so this is clearly running the latest version 12 firmware, and the latest version 12 firmware that I've got and downloaded into the 786, that probably has the Bluetooth functionality in it. It's just not enabled because it's not the Bluetooth model. But the code's probably in there. So interesting, huh? Anyway, teardown. Is this close to market? It's a couple of months off. Let's just say a couple of months. Hey, Whackman. Whackman's in the house, is he? Oh, it's a single MOSFET, is it, Mike? Thank you. Yeah. All right. Let's tear it down. I have not torn it down yet, so let's get into it. What's the time? 3:15. It's on a Saturday here, so I'm going to have to can't spend all day here. It's raining here in Sydney. Various sport things were cancelled. Mrs. EEVblog's tennis was cancelled, and various sports and things. So, wow, that's stiff as unbelievable. Wow, that's really something. But yeah, it's going to be exactly. I expect the PCB to be absolutely identical because they clearly designed this way back, and they've only now gotten around to perfecting the Bluetooth. Perfecting doesn't work on my phone. Go figure. But it's not released yet, so I'll cut them some slack. Okay, like exactly the same battery, people have asked. It's exactly the same hardware, exactly the same moldings. The PCB, I guarantee, will be exactly the same. So, I'd be stunned if it's different. But you never know. So, yeah, everything's exactly the same. They've got the programming headers exactly the same. No, it's not user programmable. It's only dealer programmable. Oh, there we go. That looks and feels identical. There you go. 786, so 38th week 24, so that's the manufacturer's marker. The bareboard manufacturer add that in. That's not on their PCB. That's not on their Gerbers. So yeah, so 38th week 24. So it's a 786. So they haven't even marked it as 787 because I changed it late or whatever. So BT. So they might have manually added this one, the low Z stuff for this. But anyway, yeah, there's the Bluetooth. They haven't even marked Bluetooth. So it's exactly the same. What is? Hang on. 2J1010. That's some other manufacturing code, is it? Don't know, but let's have a look. This is the old 786. You got the smaller PTC there, larger one. Everything's the same, is it not? That looks absolutely identical to me. Yep. That is not changing. It's not changing at all. And I wouldn't expect it to either. Button board up the top. So let's get this thing out. Have to pop the fuses to get this board out. EEVblog oscilloscope when? I have no plans to release an EEVblog oscilloscope. Oh, oh, ah, geez, that takes some force. And I'm not using the correct size screwdriver. That's very bad of me. But I've lost my other good weir. I don't know where it is. Very sad. It's in the lab somewhere. But if you've seen the lab, boy, yep. It's a wonder I can find anything. So let's keep going. EEVblog Nazi moon base, yeah, sure, on the dark side. Iron Sky reference. Iron Sky, great documentary. Some idiot will clip that and take it literal. Oh, man. Yep. Hello. Oop, there it is. Okay, and last screw. So yeah, pretty sure we're not going to see anything here at all. Not going to see a thing. Oof. There we go. All right. Now, that just pops out. Don't particularly like how it's... Why is it stuck? Oh no, I thought it was stuck. All the internal plastics are identical. I don't know if I have it. Yep. The shielding's identical. Yep, look at that. Absolutely no difference whatsoever. So there is our PCB, flippity-doo-dah, and flippity-doo-dah. Spot the difference. Where's Wally? There is no difference. They're identical. The new one has the mu metal shield over the buzzer there. That was an old thing because this is a really old board. No, everything's the same as you'd expect. Exactly the same production board, except they have soldered in, ta-da, a Bluetooth module. So, what we want to see, what everyone wants to see, is the Bluetooth module. So, yeah, let's do that. There's no other parts which have been... Oh, that resistor there is still missing. You know, that one we noted before? That's still missing. So that's interesting. Is it not? Anyway, I will, of course, will have high-res photos of this available. So that cap up there is missing. And this one doesn't have the... oh. Yeah. This one doesn't have any of the... that would be to do with the true RMS converter as well, which is on the other side. So, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely identical. No, well, in theory, yes, you might be able to... No is the... No, I can tell you right now, no is going to be the answer. You can't upgrade your old BM786, but in theory, you could, if you've got the programmer like I have, you could, in theory, program the new BT firmware, which I haven't gotten yet. But in theory, I could, and then solder in the Bluetooth module. And as long as there's no other parts differences, yeah, in theory, it's possible. But no, I'm not going to offer it. No, Brymen, I'm not going to offer it as a service. It's just not worth the cost. It's not worth the effort to pack and ship all the way to Australia, and then for me to take it apart, you know, and Brymen are never going to release the firmware for it. So don't even ask. Sorry. It's not a thing. They've made their decision, and no, only dealers who've signed an NDA can get access to the programmer, and I physically have a programmer here, so which allows me to modify firmware just in case I've got some old stock or something like that, or in the, you know, if the occasional customer absolutely needs a firmware upgrade for some reason, I can do that. So now let's take this off. It's got the board-to-board interconnect. That's, I believe, the programming, the calibration header. Hang on. I'm going to Kamigutsu here, aren't I? No, what have I? Oh, no, there's a screw missing. There we go. Yeah. Just remembered that. I've tried that before. Haven't broken any meters yet, but I've had a good go. And, all right. Ta-da! There's the Bluetooth module. There we go. So yeah, everything's going, all the plastics, everything's, it's an identical meter. It just comes straight from their BM780 series batch. BM780 production batch. So there you go. Yep, they got the same true RMS thing, which is not going to be on this model. This is a true RMS meter, but it does it internally to the chipset. It's not an external. Here we go. Make it bigger. I haven't been operating full screen here. That's dumb. All right. So upside down, all the electrons are going to fall out. It is a Sybil. Yeah, I will have high-res photos available on my Flickr account after this. I will go shoot. Bloody hell. Oh, there we go. It's a Sybil. I know. But CY Bluetooth low energy. A WAP 2000. No, that's the FCC ID. I don't know. Does anyone know? It's just an off-the-shelf module. They wouldn't have rolled that on their own. And that is... Oh, it's got a programming header on it. Okay, interesting. So if anyone can replace that with an ESP32 for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, you could. You could in theory. You could do your own aftermarket thing if you wanted to. So, yep. But with the 3 AAA batteries, you don't want to be running Wi-Fi. Jeez, no. So, yeah. So that should just pull off there. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, there's extra pins over there. So there you are. So if you compare that with that, ta-da, there you go. The headers are there. So this is obviously the power over here. This is the data. And yeah, those components there aren't in. Oh, this one has a resistor there, but this one doesn't, even though it's the Bluetooth model. That's interesting. So it's missing a component. Wonder what that does. Oh, that's straight across that cap. Why would they need a resistor across that cap, and why have they omitted it this time? That's an interesting question. I'm glad you asked. All right. All right. Excellent. So, what have we got? Yeah, everything's the same. Everything is exactly the same. It's the same Hycon Tech LCD driver as before. And as previously, I can't tell you what the main processor is. I do know what the main processor is, but I'm not supposed to tell. So there you go. Yeah, it's exactly the same hardware. It's exactly the same. Yeah, you could look up the FC. I'm surprised somebody hasn't already looked up the FCC ID WAP 2006. That seems generic. Oh, sorry, I didn't show the bottom. So there you go. That. There. That. It's a new Bluetooth module. Ta-da! Look at that. So, just got a little 5-pin. That'd be a reg, would it? That looks like a reg to me, with the cap either side like that. It's a classic regulator configuration. And that, they've just got the Bluetooth module with the castellated edges. I mean, Brymen, obviously, they probably designed this board, but they wouldn't have designed this. They'd be buying this pre-certified. So you're just pretty dumb if unless you're Apple or somebody, you wouldn't bother certifying your own module. So, yeah, there you go. That's it. That's all they've added. They've tweaked the firmware, and Bob's your uncle. Protocol. Verdict's still out on that. I do have the protocol, but they're still debating whether or not to release it publicly. I've told them, just release it. People are going to reverse engineer it anyway. Just release it. It's a Cypress EEVblog PROC XR module. There you go. Rob's got it. EEVblog. Bluetooth feature does what? It sends out the data, so you can log it, or have a remote screen on your shoe phone, or your Windows machine, or whatever. So, yeah, Brian, yeah, they need to lighten up. Just release it. Yeah, I agree. So it's a Cypress Semiconductor jobby. I mentioned that. Why doesn't it have the true RMS circuit fitted? It doesn't have it because you can do it inside the chipset. Most multimeter chipsets, which this one uses, they can do true RMS built in, but it's limited bandwidth. It's still true RMS, but it only goes like 2 kilohertz or something. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, if you want the higher bandwidth, you want 50 or 100 kilohertz bandwidth, you need the expensive dedicated analog devices chip. So, yep. And that costs extra. But there you have it. That is the new BM787. Sorry, 787. 78/788. I'm not sure if anyone's getting the 789. Not sure what the deal is. But, yep. And just as predicted, exactly as predicted, there is just the only additional extra is a Bluetooth module. And the cost difference is quite significant, though, unfortunately. The cost difference to me. So this is technically now more expensive than the 121GW. So, yeah. That's a bit of a bummer. It's a bit more expensive. A little bit more expensive, as in cost to me. So, yeah. But there you have it. That is inside the new 787BT. Look at that. It's like I bought one. Excellent. Any last minute questions before I go? Because I don't want to have this live stream go on forever. Oh, there we go. Somebody's already. Infineon's AirRock is a fully certified Bluetooth LE embedded module based on a proven hardware design. Infineon's PSOC 4 BLE. This module includes a royalty-free Bluetooth stack. There you go. Royalty-free. Nice. So, yep, that's the module used in. So, yeah, I mean, you could design your own board. You could just, in theory, design your own board that plugs into this. Wouldn't be hard to figure out the stuff in there. Oh, that's right. Somebody wanted me to measure the, should I do it here? Or measure the power consumption. It's a pain in the ass because I have to like potentially solder. Oh. I think there's a PCB trace there. Change. From memory. From memory. See if my memory's good. Oh! Look at that! Oh! Do not doubt my memory. Look at that. There is a PCB change. Look at that. Huh? I knew there was a trace coming out there because I've soldered onto that. I've soldered onto that via before when I'm testing the power consumption. This one doesn't have it. This one's got 3 holes there. Wow. There you go. So, that, I mean, the new meters might be like that. The new meters as well, the current shipping meters might be like that. I'd be stunned if they're not, actually. So this is probably, I mean, remember, this is like a four-year-old meter. So they've probably tweaked the layout there slightly. But yeah, there you go. That was different. That was different. What's part of the electric field tester thing? But yeah, there's just slight difference there. Oh yeah, look, 0 ohm jump. Look, 0 ohm jumper on the new one. So maybe they've tweaked that slightly, but that's not specifically for this Bluetooth model. I'm absolutely sure of it. Absolutely sure. So yeah, here you go. Yeah, do people really want to see me measure the power consumption of this thing? I've got to put the LCD back together. No, I won't do it now because I've got to put the LCD back on to make sure to get it working, to get the buttons and everything to get it working. Then I've got to solder on to here, and then I have to undo it all again because I want to take some high-res photos of it. So no, sorry, I won't measure the power consumption. So I assume this goes into standby. Can anyone give me the standby consumption of this? I wouldn't expect this to have any effect on the battery life except when it's doing its transmitting, and then it's Bluetooth low energy. It's going to be naffle anyway. It's going to be smelling and oily rag stuff. So need serial for reliable data logging. Yes. Can't beat the RS-232 serial. Ooh, shots fired. Flute quality is going downhill. Ordered a new knob for the 179. New one is 100% plastic. No metal shaft or O-ring like the original. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, totally. I totally agree, Chris. Yeah, just release the protocol. My God. As long as, like I told him this, as long as nobody can screw up their meter, as long as you can't like goof up the calibration, screw it up by sending, dummy commands, sending wild commands to it or something, then there's nothing to worry about. Just release the bloody protocol. And if they designed it so that the user could potentially screw it up, then that's a bad thing. It shouldn't be like that. I can't give you the exact cost delta yet, because that's proprietary information. Yeah, there's other much cheaper ones that have Bluetooth as well, but do they have decent apps? I don't know. I can't see this. Like, I've got the app on my phone and I've got it running, but it doesn't display anything. Like, there's no display or anything that I can do without actually connecting to the meter. And unfortunately, it just doesn't do that. Features, same as the 780 series, exactly the same, except it's got Bluetooth. Yeah, you would have to get pulse power consumption. You'd have to get a pulse measurement current meter on there to be able to measure the burst current, the transmitting and stuff. But yeah, yep, that's out of the scope for this video. Oh, you spotted another change? R91, R92 are unpopulated on the Bluetooth model. Where's that? R91, R92? Oh, God. Could be anywhere. Anyway, thanks. I'll have high-res photos over there, but that is noted. Oh, I can do that. It's no problem. But I've got to take high-res photos and then I can easily overlay them and switch between them. It's not a problem. But can't do it live here. No, I've physically measured it. I even just the other day, like I measured it years ago and it didn't, but I thought, oh, maybe the new firmware does. So I got the new version 12 firmware, which is exactly what's programmed into this one, the version 12 firmware, and I took apart a brand spanking new meter I got out. No, but it had the Bluetooth 12 firmware in it. And I took the damn thing apart and I checked it, and there's no signals there, because I believe the signals switch off. And Joe Smith has confirmed that it does lose connection when you turn off, when you do the soft power button, the soft button thing and turn off the data. It stops actually transmitting. So there's no data So there's no actual data on those pins at all. So, yep. So I have looked at that, hoping that, you know, I could have done a video, you know, secret mod of the BM786, add your own Bluetooth. But no. It's a firmware lock thing. You could potentially hack the firmware if you're good enough to enable it to do that. Because I reckon the firmware's in there. I reckon the Bluetooth transmitting stuff's in there. Because they would have had this for quite some time, and I only got the version 12 firmware like a month ago or something. And yeah. Yes, I'm going to sell the 786 as well. Yes, because there is a significant price difference. And if people keep buying, I'm going to sell the BM235 too. People keep buying them, I'll keep selling them. I'm going to milk that cash cow. You know, people just love price point things. So, I don't know if I'm a genius. Backside close to Bluetooth connector. Okay. What is it? R80... 91, 92? Sorry, I've lost you. I can't. I'm not going to scroll back through the comments. Oh, Jeff. Jeff Geeling in the house, folks. Has an excellent YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to Jeff, hi, Jeff. I didn't know you watched. Yes, I rarely do a live stream on the main channel. It's always on my second channel, EEVblog 2. I haven't checked. So do you have a second channel, Jeff? Where you just dump like random stuff that's not polished for the main channel? I haven't checked if you've got a second channel or not. Anyway, Jeff does excellent, you know, embedded computer stuff. So if you're into your Raspberry Pis and your whatnots, and like really advanced versions of those, not just, you know, oh, here's the latest Raspberry Pi. Pretty darn good. I've been on EEVblog for years, didn't subscribe to until recently, and yes, level 2 Jeff. There you go. I will have to subscribe to level 2 Jeff. I recommend everyone else does too, because your videos are excellent, Jeff. I just watched the one the other day on one of the new embedded platforms. So, yep. And the dishwasher, that was hilarious. Jesus, the dishwasher. Go and watch Jeff's Bosch dishwasher. That's a shame because I like Bosch dishwashers. And it requires an internet connection to get features on it, to get like a couple of extra, like basic features. It's ridiculous. Oh my God, yeah, I would not sign up to that on principle. I would refuse to, and yeah, it's a pain in the arse. You've already got it installed and everything else, so how do you return it? Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, your dad's retiring in a week. We do stuff on gearly and engineering, IT and RF, hopefully more electronics. Cool. Excellent. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sure we have a big audience crossover, I'm sure. It's pretty hard to see my videos without seeing your ones or vice versa, I think. The algorithm's going to spit it up. Does the new Brymen BM787 come with a software user interface separate from, say, like a tablet or PC? It's going to have, well, no. You'd have to write your own software. Like, if they release the protocol publicly, then, yeah, anyone can write it. But it's going to be reverse engineered. It'll be available on SIGROC in no time, I'm sure, which is like an open source thing which connects hundreds of different types of multimeters. Yeah, there's no doubt if you pulled that control board on the Bosch, it'd be potted. Yeah, almost certainly. Unbelievable. Like, yeah, it's not worth your time trying to hack that. You probably can't. You'd have to get into the software and like, no, it's just evil, absolute evil, unbelievable. Oh, an X-commenter. Does the new one have a crystal populated that isn't in the old one? No. I don't think so. There's no crystals on the bottom because the Bluetooth will have its own crystally. Got our main crystal there. Oh. Oh, no. Sorry. No, you are right. Very good spot in, but incorrect. Because this is a board which I hacked. I'm sure I did a video on it. You'll notice that, yes, the crystal is missing because I deliberately hacked it. This is one I did experiments on. You'll notice the track is lifted. I can't remember what video was that for. I can't remember what it was for. I don't know, but I've done a video like doing some hacking experiment with the 786 or something. I don't know. Maybe was it a repair video or something? And yeah, so this was that unit, I'm sure. And yeah, and there's no pin there. Like, sorry, there's no pad there. The pad's just Gonski. It's just bare fiberglass. You can see the traces underneath in the layers in the middle. So yeah, well spotted, but no. Yep. Oh boy. Anyway, overclocked. Yeah, what the hell were Bosch thinking? That's just insane. That's corporate suicide. But, oh man, but Joe Average just doesn't care. Just does it, goes through the motions. The sheeple will do it. Yeah, and that's how they get away with it. Yeah, I was doing quite a lot of hacking on that one. And the pads eventually lifted after soldering it for the 5th time or something. Teardown request, Zoe LCR meter. Oh yeah, I don't know. They keep sending me shit. I've got like 3 or 4 bloody Zoe things here. They just keep, like, I don't even, they send me an email and I just ignore. Oh, I don't want to look at your new multimeter, really. And they send it to me anyway. I don't even say, oh yeah, send it to me. They send it to me. Oh, try. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. I think I'll leave it at that. That is the new BM787. There's the new Bluetooth module. Will be available in a couple of months, but we're on Brymen time. Brymen time is like Elon time. So, yeah. Because as I said, this was supposed to be 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Here it is. 5-year-old board. 2020. 2020. It's got Bluetooth. It's got the pins. It's got the header pins. It's got the pins for the Bluetooth board. It's exactly the same. That was 5 years ago. And they've only just now, hopefully, going to release it soon. So, yeah, cool bananas, huh? Anyway, I better head off. So thanks everyone for joining me. I don't want to make this live stream too long. Should head home to the family, actually. It's pizza and movie night. Oh, no, I think it might be game night. Now we're alternating. Yeah, I think it's not movie. It might be game night tonight, as in board games. Board game night. Pizza and board games. So, yep. Thanks, Jeff. Everyone subscribe to Jeff Geerling. At what point will the multimeter require Wi-Fi? You'll never get Wi-Fi in a multimeter because the battery requirements are too high. So, yeah, that's why you'll never get a multimeter with Wi-Fi. And everyone, it's pretty much with the multimeter, it's all about battery life. Like, if it's got a shit battery life, people won't buy it. So, yeah. Cool. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining me. Catch you next time.